Well, hey, well, big welcome back to the channel. Well, yeah, we should be in Morocco, but we're actually in Spain because I've been ill. And one of the questions we've often been asked is, what happens if you get ill whilst you're on the road? So we thought we'd do a video of being ill in Spain, the process, and how to make your GHIC card work for you. Well, I have indeed been ill over Christmas. I woke up at about 3 o'clock one morning and had this almighty stomach pain. I felt like my stomach was about to burst. And I'll spare you the detail, but after about 45 minutes it subsided. And about 3 days after that, the same thing happened again. And 3 days after that, same again. So it got to the point where I thought, I've got to go to hospital. So I went to the main hospital, went into A&E, and the level of service I got there was incredible. I was processed immediately. I seen a doctor literally within about 10 minutes. And they did a number of tests on me and scans, and I was in hospital for about 3.5 to 4 hours, and I come out with some meds. I had pain relief, and the long and short of it was they couldn't find anything at that point. I subsequently seen another doctor. They did further tests, blood tests, stool tests and so on, and it came back with a couple of gallstones, but they were so small it wasn't a concern. So I suppose I'm okay.
You're not about to imminently die.
Thereabouts. But the sort of the process and that level of service and medical care was absolutely superb. And I shouldn't be surprised, because back in 2020 I had another experience whereby I woke up again about 5 o'clock in the morning. It was a Sunday morning. I woke up and I said to Izzy, I've got to go to hospital, just from nowhere. And as it turns out, I had shingles. This
was in Spain, by the way.
This is in Spain. And it was exactly the same thing. I was seen immediately. Straight away they identified the problem. I was prescribed antivirals. I was given again some pain relief through a drip, and basically told the rest. And it really was superb throughout. But we're not here to talk about my medical history. And in fact, Izzy's had a couple of
I've had to go to a walk-in centre. I've had conjunctivitis, which was treated really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And a few lady problems. And we've always had excellent service. Mostly the doctors speak English. They see you very quickly.
Yeah.
And it feels pretty painless.
Yeah.
Unless you're Phil, obviously, and being a wuss.
Yeah. Not, you know, very much. It's not like the experience you get in the UK at the moment.
No, definitely not.
But we're here really to talk about the GHIC. And the GHIC is the Global Health Insurance Card, whereby, and specifically the relationship we have, the reciprocal agreement we have with Spain, the UK and Spain, whereby you have your little card. It's a little credit card size card if you haven't seen one, and that gives you, I'm going to read this out because I've taken this off the website actually, which gives the emergency and necessary health care cover. So this is basic cover really. If you've got an emergency, or you fell off your bicycle and you broke your arm,
or something like what happened to Phil, and you needed to go into hospital to get to help deal with some pain, or you had another issue, then you're entitled to the same level of cover here that any Spanish person is entitled to under the GHIC agreement. The UK ends up paying for it because presumably they keep records and charge it back to the UK, and the same would happen for a Spanish person visiting the UK. So it's a really important thing to have if you're travelling in Spain. Yeah.
The first message in all of this is, if you haven't got one, get one. Yeah. We got one this year for my dad actually, and it took about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's completely free. If you're on a website that tells you have to pay, that you're being scammed, we'll put a link in the comments, or sorry, in the description below, so that you can know the right place to go.
Yeah.
And it covers you throughout Europe. If you do have a problem when you're in Spain or any other European country, take your GHIC card to the hospital or to a walk-in centre. It won't cover you to see a GP because that's considered routine care. But you take it with you. They will issue you with a SIPS card, which is a card that all Spanish people carry, which grants them access to the public health services here. And you'll get a SIPS card that's valid for 6 months, and that's so that they can put your details on the system and recognise who you are if you need, to go and see them again for anything. And you'll get your treatment.
It doesn't matter where you are in the country either. So if you're in south of Spain and you've got a medical problem, and then you carry on your travels, for example, and then you need more care, and you're in the north of Spain, your medical records are actually shared, and so the doctor in the north of Spain will be able to look at your past history and obviously go from there.
Not quite sure why we haven't been able to manage to do that in the UK.
I know. Also the meds.
Yes, so with the GHIC, if you are prescribed anything, you get 50% off. So when Phil had his shingles and he had to get really expensive antivirals, they were half price, off the shelf price that you would normally pay here. And if you're in receipt of a UK pension, you only pay 10% for the cost of the medication with the GHIC card.
But in general, prescribed drugs are actually really, really cheap in Spain.
They are.
So
be aware, there are some things it doesn't cover. So if you need to be casibaced back to the UK or repatriated, it won't cover the cost of that. It won't cover you for specialist care, and it won't cover you for ongoing treatment. They would ask you to go home if you needed ongoing treatment. So we were really glad they didn't find anything wrong with Phil. It's not a substitute for traditional travel insurance that covers you for healthcare. Most travel insurance companies will ask you to try and seek public healthcare first anyway. You need to have both to be fully covered. And we'll put a link in the description to the people that we use for our travel insurance, so you can get backpacker insurance through them as well, which can cover you for up to 2 years. And they're excellent, and they cover a lot of sports and activities as standard.
You do. So I'm sat here sort of smiling because it's so dry. It's boring.
It is boring.
But it isn't boring when you have a medical problem.
Yeah.
And suddenly having that reassurance that you've got that card is, it just sort of gives you that peace of mind, really, that it does. You know, if something happens, because you never know. It doesn't matter what age you are. You know, I see myself as pretty fit and active, but you just never know. You wake up or you got a problem, and then suddenly you need medical attention quite quickly. And what do you do? And it's something that people have often asked us about.
And when you see all those GoFundMes for people that have had accidents and they can't get back to the UK because nobody can, you know, their parents or their family can't afford to casevac them home, it's because they haven't got travel insurance. So get both. Get the GHIC, which is free, get the travel insurance, shop around if you want to for the best price. And make sure that you can get home if you need to and that you're covered in an emergency.
So the message is, get a GHIC, jump on there right now, don't delay. And then put it in your wallet, in your phone, whatever you carry your cards, keep it with you at all times. It's the first thing you'll be asked for as soon as you go into the A&E or the walk-in centre. And that's about it. So with me being fighting fit, we are now able to be on our way. We didn't want to go into Morocco actually.
With Phil not being 100%.
Yeah, that just didn't feel right. So
I thought if he woke me up and said, "Can you drive me to the hospital at 4 o'clock in the morning?" that might be a slight problem, seeing as I haven't actually passed my test yet.
I think I'd probably suddenly feel okay.
Do you think?
Yeah, with you driving this. So yeah, that's it. So guys, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for watching our most boring video to date.
It's true. But yeah, we're going to be on the road very shortly, resume our travels, so stick with us.
Hopefully we'll see some of you on the way.
And yeah, thanks for all the support on the channel. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time round. Bye for now.